up, and welcome to 5280 Film Room. We're a Colorado sports podcast by fans for fans. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Gideon.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Jordan.
And by the time we post this podcast, we will be less than 24 hours away from the Broncos' first preseason game facing off against the Vikings.
Super exciting. Going to be a Saturday tomorrow, 7 o'clock. So if you're trying to get down there early, ride the light rail, and have some fun.
Football's finally back. Are we excited?
It kind of puts a smile on your face, definitely. Like, each day is a better day because there's football news. Something happens.
Not
Your
just
team
a
is
bunch
practicing.
of like filler news and sports media journalists trying really hard to find a story. Like, there's actual football to cover. There's been so much exciting stuff coming out of training camp that I think there's a lot to look for tomorrow as a Broncos fan and a lot to watch out for. Something that's interesting is of the 6 quarterbacks that will be taking the field tomorrow, 5 of them have actively played for the Denver Broncos or been a Denver Bronco within the last calendar year. We've obviously got Case Keenum, who will be playing for the first time as a Bronco, and Paxton Lynch as the second, and Chad Kelly as the third. But then on the Vikings side of the ball, their number 2 is Trevor Siemian, our former starter, and their number 3 is Kyle Sloter, who became like a massive fan favorite during training camp last year before the Broncos.
Well, he had a lot
him.
of impressive plays during the preseason last year for us. And it was
great stats during the preseason.
This kid comes out of nowhere, and I think he went to CSU, I want to say. I'll check that real quick.
That's a good question.
But,
I don't know.
Either way, it's pretty interesting that there's 5 of the 6 quarterbacks that have ties to Denver specifically. So,
and I'm sure John Elway reached out to Kirk Cousins in the offseason. So, like, there was probably contact there.
Like, are you interested in coming here?
Whoa, Sloter went to UNC.
Really,
boy.
Right.
UNC Bear.
That's right.
So not CSU, but still from Colorado.
Yeah.
And Sloter was exciting, but, I mean, he was playing against 3s and 4s last year. Because it was Simeon and Paxton that were playing against the 1s and 2s.
These are elite athletes trying to make the professionals.
I mean, I love
when
Sloter,
your number
but
3
it's like...
is the one lighting up training camp and catching all of the fans' eyes during preseason, you know your 1 and 2 quarterbacks suck.
But
they are
playing...
not living up to their potential.
But Sloter didn't play against the 1s and the 2s. It was the 3s
Well,
and the 4s.
no. But she was saying that he's impressing people against the 3s and the 4s enough to say, like, this dude's probably better than our 1 or 2. And really, we didn't really have a 1 quarterback. We had 2 2s.
No, yeah.
And it was
When you
really,
have 2
really
quarterbacks,
embarrassing.
you have no quarterbacks.
And then Brock, sitting in the background like a creeper. Like, hey, guys.
Yeah, when did he come
Remember
into
me?
the mix?
It was in the preseason.
Right before the regular season? I feel like maybe before
so
the preseason.
The Titans decided to trade him to the Browns because he was not living up to expectations.
Or the Texans.
Or Houston Texans.
Yeah.
Same Texans. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
they both came from
And-
Houston.
So
The worst part
Browns,
about that is he signed that big contract with the Texans, and I heard all of this happened before he and the head coach ever met. And that, like, the second they met in person, who's that coach?
Bill O'Brien.
Bill O'Brien, who's obviously like a huge personality. Apparently, the second he and Brock Osweiler met, instant hatred from the
But
get-go.
Brock already signed the contract.
And it was done.
Like,
but
sorry.
it was doomed from the get-go.
Yeah.
But Brock made his money.
But the Browns, so the Browns were on the hook for most of his contract last year.
They just wanted the draft
and they
pick.
cut him, so he didn't make their final roster. But
I mean,
it was
they
kind
paid-
of like a cut trade with
Yeah.
the Broncos, and
They
the Broncos paid veterans minimum for him last year.
And I think it was like a game-by-game payment system, too.
Oh, yeah.
We
Probably.
only had to pay for games that he started.
Yeah, and it was super cheap.
Yeah.
Well, and
Yeah.
you can obviously see on our depth chart he is no longer around. So
Is he?
Yeah, he's with
Anyway?
the Dolphins.
Oh.
Pretty sure it's
Getting
the
some
Dolphins.
sun.
right behind the great mentorship of Jay Cutler,
Former Bronco.
former
Right.
Bronco.
Grumpy
Weird.
ex-Bronco
Man, we are
quarterbacks
just really good at
banding
picking your
together.
quarterbacks.
Well, Jay Cutler's retired this year, right?
No, he's starter. Pretty sure he's a starter.
Because I know
Over
Tannehill's
I
a
think
starter.
it's Tannehill.
But,
Tannehill's still there? Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Jay Cutler still
So
has
Cutler
his
played
reality
because
show.
of
I know
Tannehill's
that.
Yeah, Cutler's not playing
Pretty
football.
sure.
I know that
sucks.
for sure.
Never mind. Don't listen to me. I don't know my football.
Hey, but guys, if you Google Jay Cutler, they let you know. First story, he's the breakout TV character of 2018.
Oh, so he's definitely not playing football.
Winning. You marry the star of Laguna Beach. You're going places.
I did not know that. I've never seen Laguna
yeah.
Beach.
She's a
If
babe.
you watch The League, you would know.
Was it
He's married to Kristen
Cavallari?
Calamari. I don't know.
Calamari. Kristen Calamari.
But anyway, I do think it'll be fascinating tomorrow. Because I was never a big fan of Trevor Siemian as our quarterback, but I liked the dude. So I hope he plays well. I was full on the Kyle Sloter bandwagon, for sure.
When Chad Kelly's going to have that same reaction with the
He
fans
already
this year.
is, apparently. There's a whole, Chad Kelly cult following amongst Bronco fans. But this will be our first time really seeing him because he was injured and recovering all last season.
When he'll get to play against the twos. Sloter never got to play against the twos. Case is going to play against the ones, and I feel like they're going to split time with Lynch and Chad Kelly to figure out who's better.
Or we can not waste any more time watching Paxton stuck and can just move on with our lives.
Maybe he does the second quarter, or maybe he doesn't even get out of the first quarter.
My
they
thought
give Chad
was
Kelly the entire...
He shouldn't even hit
Second,
the
third,
field
fourth.
in the preseason because all that's going to do is remind all these other teams why he's not worth trading anything for. I feel like we could have
He's
got
a
more
first-round
for
draft
him.
pick. You can't just
He's
not
a
get anything for a
bust.
first-round
Broncos
draft.
traded up for him, too.
You can't...
Yeah.
There's too much invested
And weren't there
in this
some
man.
killer quarterbacks in that draft class that went after him?
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I'd much rather have him.
Who did we get? Booker right after Prescott? Or
Yeah. Or
before
Yeah.
Prescott. Dallas Cowboys were after us. So Dak was on the
Wow.
board. We took Booker because we had taken Lynch. We already had our quarterback.
I know.
I mean, and here's the thing. You win some, you lose some. But I think part of being a strategic manager is knowing when to cut your losses. And we've been hanging on to Paxton and hoping something magical will change and he'll become a football player.
But it's only
it's not
2
happening.
years. You're talking about 2 years.
And he's still on his rookie
look
contracts.
at Case Keenum. You're raving about Case Keenum and some victory waffles, but
do
this
want victory
man
waffles.
was looking like he was going to be a career backup.
I think my thing with Paxton is that he doesn't seem to want to be a football player. He doesn't carry himself with that passion and that fight and that drive.
Maybe he just still has kind of a little boy's mind.
Well,
he's
and maybe
growing
he
into a
has
man.
other passions and things he wants to pursue, and he should go off and do that and leave it.
Do you have some inside
live a
information
happy
that
life.
we don't know? Is
No,
he secretly
this
playing
is
guitar or something? Or
oodles.
he's
He probably does.
going
I
viral
can
on
see that.
YouTube.
He does
with,
an open
with,
mic at the coffee shop down by Dove Valley once a week. No,
Poetry
this is all
slam.
total speculation. It just, I don't know. I feel like you can kind of read players on the bench and on the field, and he just doesn't seem.
Maybe he wants to be starting. And he just shows his frustration in a different kind of way.
When he's had his chance to start, he's done nothing.
Well, yes, that's
Yeah.
very true.
Yeah.
But I mean, he is a first-round
But
draft pick, and he's on his
young.
rookie contract.
He's young.
so
I know.
You
You
gotta
might as well
learn.
keep him.
And we signed him to a pretty solid contract.
Like
What was a
Broncos
first-round
country, I
draft
feel like
pick
has a lot of
contract,
really
so-
high expectations just because he was a first-round draft pick. It doesn't mean he's bad since he's performed poorly, but he's growing into his role. Maybe he will be a backup that we can rely on in the future.
So
But
I
if-
have a question. If something horrible happened and Case was not able to start against the Seahawks in September, would you feel confident with Paxton Lynch leading this team?
Probably not leading it, no. I'm not going to be confident that we're going to win games with him right now. But what I'm saying is his progression could be slow. And then maybe his third year, fourth year, he's all of a sudden peaking.
Yeah,
and getting
everyone's on a
to
different
his
path.
better.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I just feel like his path doesn't line up with what the Broncos
He's
win
had
now
a
mentality
kick-ass
seems
defense.
to be.
He's had a kick-ass defense, but the offense, like Paxton Lynch played as a rookie with one of our worst offensive lines.
Yes,
and how are you
that's
going to
very
feel
true.
trying to throw to some great receivers when these veteran monsters are breathing down your neck every single play?
Not good.
And you haven't even learned how to mitigate pocket presence and stuff like that. So there's a lot going through your mind when you're dropping back for a pass.
Would you feel better with Paxton or Chad Kelly?
Probably Paxton at this point.
Yeah. Chad
Kelly
has anything.
And he's Mr. Irrelevant. So there's a lot
Mr. Irrelevant becoming relevant.
Becoming more relevant. Well, is it because of his dad? Like, there's
no,
a reason.
I think it's the off season. I mean, his off season.
Uncle, sorry,
Jim Kelly.
Yeah, the off season I think really helped him in being out of that environment in the college atmosphere with how much quote unquote drama can happen.
Right.
He had a good off season, good year last year to recover, get the speed down. But I don't know. I know
mental side of things.
Yeah, I know Elway is still in Paxton's corner. I mean, he wanted to move up to get Paxton.
Yeah.
He got the quarterback he wanted, and he's been on his high horse, quote unquote, since that draft.
I wish I just knew why.
That.
Well, how long is the rookie contract?
I don't know.
4 years?
4 years.
Mm-hmm.
With a team option?
5th year option.
Okay,
yeah.
So this is his 3rd year, right?
Yes.
Got to start showing something.
He started 2016, 2017.
Mm-hmm.
Began his career, not started.
Yeah. Right. Began working.
So now he's in his 3rd year. So we have one more season after this. There's no way we try to trade him if we believe that he's going to hit a level that is going to be optimal for our offense in the future. But I think if you are trying to trade him, you have to give him chances to kind of show some, like, hey, we're already in playoff contender. We got playoffs locked up. We got 2 games left, and we're playing. Who do we play in the last 2 games? Like Raiders and Bengals.
I want to say we play the
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
Like but it's like throw him in against the Bengals, and then maybe he wins, and then you don't play him for the last game. But that gives him some good film footage for other teams to be like, yeah, we'll trade for this kid.
But what would the Broncos be willing to get for him? Like a 5th round draft pick?
I think you'd have to settle. I mean, 5th would be pretty tough a tough sell. It would be a great deal on the whoever's getting Lynch, I think. But
if he performs well.
Yeah, I would say probably 3rd round. Like, to be realistic, like grab a 3rd round draft pick and we'll let Paxton Lynch go.
I still think he's going to demand that much in the market.
I don't think he's going to be that good in preseason because he's going to be playing against the twos.
I hope he is.
No. What I'm saying is for that to occur,
he
would have to have some regular season film to back that up.
But
we're going to keep him for at least this year or next year.
Yeah.
But between now and then, we're going to have to get him some real regular season game time film where he's not throwing interceptions. Like maybe 3 touchdowns, 0 picks, and 350 yards passing. Like, all right, this kid's good.
But the only person that is in control of him going out and doing that is him, and he doesn't seem to want it.
You throw him into a situation that is ideal for him to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's assuming that either the Broncos are so far out of the playoffs or they've clinched.
Yeah,
that
that's
they
what I'm
have
saying.
An extra game or 2.
Exactly.
Or barring injury.
I know, knock on wood.
But if our defense is as good as it could be, and Case Keenum is as good as he should be, then we'll be in a situation where we might be like 11-3.
I don't know. I think
that'd be nice.
Lofty.
I don't know.
Let's shoot for that.
I think Chad Kelly has a higher ceiling than Paxton Lynch does.
Yeah, I agree.
You think so?
I do.
I still haven't really seen anything from Chad because I haven't
seen
anything from Chad.
But based on what I listened to a lot of other podcasts and have followed the coverage of training camp, and apparently Chad, in terms of just raw talent and ability and focus, is already outperforming Paxton Lynch.
Mm-hmm.
Will that actually play out on the stage tomorrow night? Will he be able to deliver? Who knows? And that'll be something that'll be exciting to watch and hope. I don't know. I don't want Paxton Lynch to fail. I want to make that clear. He just hasn't given me any reason to believe he's going to succeed.
I think just as far as raw talent, Paxton is better than Chad. But after 2 years, it's still raw talent. Like, he hasn't taken it to the next level. This year, he might. I don't know. I'm hoping he will. But
I'm more excited just to see Case Keenum. Not too worried about Lynch. I think right now, the Broncos are definitely focusing on just winning the season.
Well, I mean,
but in the preseason, it's about watching your 2s and 3s.
Well, if we learned anything from the Eagles, you need a backup quarterback.
That's Super Bowl MVP caliber.
That's best friends with your starting quarterback. And they have like
that played
the most
better than
magical
Tom Brady
romance
in
ever.
the Super Bowl.
That's why I would personally love if we went out and got a veteran QB to be our backup.
Who though?
I have no idea.
I'd rather
Like
invest
Josh
money in a
McCown?
different position.
What position?
Doesn't matter.
You're like any.
Offensive line, maybe. Yeah. Like,
Yeah. We can never stop focusing on our O-line. That'll be interesting to watch tomorrow, too.
I mean, honestly, I would rather get a veteran back than a veteran quarterback for a second string.
Well, the Broncos had Jamal Charles last year, and they didn't use him. Like he was.
Jamal
back.
was also coming off injury, and he just wasn't the same player. But we also didn't utilize him in the manner that he is used to or should be used.
And last season was just so weird in the way that team was coached and the way decisions were made. It was weird.
Yeah, Jamal should have had a lot more touches.
I feel like it should have been like a 12 to 18 split between Jamal and CJ as far as their carries per game. But Jamal averaged, it was like 4 or 5 carries a game.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's so talented.
I mean, he still has a little bit of that explosive talent on the field, but maybe they just didn't see what they wanted to in practice and in the preseason.
I don't know what it was.
I mean, even Musgrave himself has admitted, like, he learned a lot about play calling last year, and that could have just been the growing pains of all new coaching staff.
Right.
And, you know, you don't know these players that are coming in fresh from other teams, on a personal basis, or how they work or how they play. Like, you might have seen game film, but you don't know, who they are inside of that person. But when you get them in front of you...
What makes them tick?
Yeah, when they get in front of you, it's like, all right, like, I should know what you do. I know what you can do, but, like, how do we implement that into our system? And I think this year Musgrave will be doing a much better job of making sure that he's getting the players the ball in the right kind of manner.
And in the right moment.
Like, here's the ball, run up the middle. Like, well, you got to call the right plays at the right times and not just, second down and 8, like, let's run up the middle with Jamal Charles. Like, he'd probably be better off with, like, a halfback pitch. Sweep it outside. Let him make a one-on-one situation, make some moves. Show everyone else, hey, my knee's still good. Check this out.
Well, Musgrave wasn't even the OC at the beginning of the season.
No?
It was Mike McCoy.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
When did he get fired?
Like,
scapegoated.
5 or 6 weeks into the season. It's like he had to fill Mike's role, so it's not like he had a whole offseason.
From quarterback's coach, correct? He was our quarterback's coach.
Yeah.
Got moved up to OC.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't really implement your own game plan or offensive scheme or playbook
5 games in.
I mean, you have to run with what you've got.
Exactly. Like the playbook's already made. So
so it's Mike
and the
McCoy's
team already
fault.
knows it.
Yes. Damn you, Mike McCoy.
We're getting down to the bottom of this.
But see, that's also another exciting aspect of this year for offense is the fact that we've had an entire offseason to implement and put in an entirely new playbook per Musgrave and our players. I mean, we didn't really change too much on the offense aside from Case and getting rid of CJ.
Getting rid of CJ is definitely a big factor.
It's definitely a big factor, yeah. But I mean, as
far
as a
wide
core,
receiving core,
tight ends are kind of the same.
Hopefully, we see a lot of improvement from the tight end position. I think there's a lot of potential there.
I think the biggest improvement we needed was the line.
Yes.
Yeah.
We brought
in
Valdir.
Tail as old as time.
Leary, from what I've heard, Leary is kind of like the quote-unquote leader right now of the line as far as a personality. Garrett Bowles was kind of that last year, but he got into so much penalty trouble with holds and everything that...
You can't listen to that guy.
Yeah.
He cheats.
He just plays with so much fire that he just gets sloppy.
Yeah, but from what I've also heard is he's kind of locked that up a little bit.
I know.
As far as the penalties.
Yeah, from listening to his press conferences here, he's only done a couple between mandatory mini camps and now training camp. But that's been like his focus. And what I like is how self-aware he is. He was like, that was not acceptable. I was disappointed in myself. I'm fixing that. That is the number one thing. And I'm like, you can't really go wrong when someone knows what they need to fix and have decided to fix it.
Yeah, I think he's got the talent to be, I don't know if I'd say top 5 tackle, but definitely top 10 tackle.
I hope so.
Yeah, between both left and right. Like, not just left tackle.
Right.
Yeah.
All tackles.
Well, like, with the penalties, like, he had too many last year for sure, but if I'm okay with any penalty, it's an offensive lineman getting a penalty.
Not on 3rd down and 5.
No,
yeah.
But still,
I went miles on that.
I want offensive linemen who are going to,
play
mess
nasty.
people up a little bit. So it's like, if I don't like penalties at all for the Broncos, but
keep your arms in and
gonna get it,
just push them. Don't hold them.
Yeah.
Push them out of the way.
Yeah.
Drive them.
Keep it clean, but keep it fierce.
Yes.
I dare you to try to push a Von Miller kind of way.
Good. Yeah.
Nobody can do that.
I don't know if anyone can do that.
We've kind of already touched on different things we're excited to see tomorrow. But specifically, we're each going to kind of focus on a player we are most excited to see in tomorrow's first preseason game against the Vikings. Jordan.
Me? Okay.
First.
So I am most and least excited to see Isaiah McKenzie as the punt returner.
What can you do?
So many feelings.
I just want to see if he has learned the ability to catch the ball. Maybe wave his hand up in the air to call a fair catch. He averaged 9 yards per return last year, but he also gave up 6 fumbles. So the fact that he's listed as number 1 on the depth chart for punt returners, I'm a little surprised by that. So I'm excited to see what he's gonna do. And it's preseason, so if he fumbles it another 6 times in one game, it's like it doesn't matter.
Well, and from my perspective, what I'm going to be watching Isaiah, what I'm going to glean from watching Isaiah tomorrow is if I believe in this coaching staff. Because I thought it was very poor coaching last year to keep him in. Here he is, listed first on the depth chart again. I'm going to put my faith in that they see something in him and they believe that he can deliver. But tomorrow will be telling for me and how this current coaching staff is making decisions regarding keeping Isaiah in that spot.
Well, last year they should have pulled him out after 3 fumbles. Like, he should have lost his job as the punt returner.
Any other coaching staff would have pulled him. Yeah.
But
Miles,
I have faith in him.
Who are you excited to see?
I don't know. I do have to do an honorable mention in regards to this. I would love to see Sua Cravens. He's still questionable.
Oh, that's right.
Because of his knee. I do hope to see. He's the one player that I am most excited to see throughout this preseason if he gets on the field and gets cleared. If I had to pick an active player that will be playing tomorrow, that's tough. I'm gonna go a little bit back to what our previous conversation was about. I'm excited to see what Chad Kelly's got. I think he's got the potential to unseat Paxton as the 2, which shouldn't be hard, I hope. But
I hope it is hard.
I don't think it's gonna be hard.
I don't think you will be either.
I mean, there's obviously not a lot on Chad because of the drama that occurred in college, and who knows? I mean, he's a complete unknown.
Yeah.
We don't really have much of him from last year due to his injury and coming back from surgery, and so who knows? I think he's going to go off, not too much more than Paxton.
Do you think he plays 2 quarters?
I think Case is going to play he'll be out by before the first half of the first quarter ends.
Yeah.
I think Paxton will finish out the first half, and then Chad will finish the second half.
So 2 full quarters.
Two full quarters, yeah.
Right.
I mean, that would give us a good read on just kind of his style and.
But that also gives
who
both Paxton and Chad kind of an entire half to themselves.
Yeah.
Obviously, Paxton is going to be working with a little bit
more
of the 2s rather than the 3s, quote unquote. But I mean,
yeah, because Chad Kelly, do you think he'll play with Deshaun Hamilton or Cortland Sutton?
I hope so.
Me too.
I really hope so.
Yeah.
I would love to see both of our rookies, Deshaun and Cortland, play almost through the third quarter.
I agree.
I would love to see that.
It's definitely very possible because you got DT and Emmanuel like as our clear starters. Like,
let's see who's going to be the clear-cut number 3.
Yeah,
but like you guys get like at least a solid 3 quarters to just battle it out.
But I mean, if we're also talking about the backup quarterback position, they're going to have to give them an equal opportunity.
Well, and they're gonna need better receivers to rely on during this preseason game to get a good read on the true level of these quarterbacks.
Plus, hopefully, Fumagalli will be able to get in the rotation if he's not out due to injury. That'd be cool to see what we get from, because that was the pick we got from Simeon's trade.
Yes, so when we traded Trevor to the Vikings, we gave them Trevor and a 7th round pick, and we got a 5th round pick. And with that pick this year, we took Fumagalli.
And he's not on the injury report, so
he should play.
He's not.
Yeah.
Ready to go.
I mean, I just hope that they give Paxton and Chad Kelly equal reps with the 2s. Like, if Paxton works with the 2s tomorrow, I hope next week Chad works with the 2s in the next preseason game.
Also, I don't think we're going to see Fumagalli. He's got a groin injury, which is related to a sports hernia surgery during the offseason.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Okay.
So that's definitely extra caution
Bummer.
around that.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, anyways. Gideon, who's your guy?
I'm going to put my money on Royce Freeman having a really good game. I'm hoping they give him at least 2 quarters. But I think secretly the Broncos know that this man is a beast and is probably going to get the starting role to start the season. I mean, his combine grade was pretty low. He only ran like a 4.5 40-yard dash. I mean, this man weighs 230 pounds.
He's a beast.
He's a pretty big dude. But I think he's got the mindset to be able to be ready to grind out as a 3-down back on the professional level, but also has the capabilities of, finding the holes and making people miss at the same time, because it's not easy to take down a 230-pound man. And when he's running pretty quick and steady, like,
he also has some lateral quickness.
I'm not going to compare him to Le'Veon Bell or like Kareem Hunt, anything like that, but we could see like a good reemergence of having an awesome, solid 3-down back. I'm thinking like a Jerome Bettis kind of guy.
Yeah, like he seems like C.J. Anderson, just a little bit quicker.
Yeah, the only thing that I would say that Booker edges Freeman on is pass protection.
Yes.
Obviously, I don't know, are we still running a West Coast offense?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Not sure.
But I mean, regardless, we're always going to need a back to block on pass pro.
But see, that's not something it is something you can learn.
Yes.
Like, Booker has been in this position and he's learned our system and he knows, how to properly block. I think Freeman can get in there and just be like, I'm just going to put my body on the line. He's young and he's like, try to get through me.
Well, what about that one guy who swings around the edge on a stunt around the line?
You gotta be aware of what's going on. But it's not like you're a quarterback trying to figure out who's blitzing through the A gap. You have a much larger distance to read where people are coming from. But if you're not paying attention to that outer edge, then there's no reason for you to be in there trying to protect our quarterback.
I think Royce will probably be the starter, but we might start with Booker as our 3rd down.
Oh yeah, because he's got good hands too.
Bag.
Freeman starting as a solid 2-down, Booker as a 3rd.
Because Booker, he's got great hands. Like I think that was CJ's biggest fault, was like he's not a good receiving running back. Booker is, and he's a good blocker.
Freeman did have some good receptions last year, and I am equally excited to see him tomorrow, just like you are, Gid. But
so this is like my vision for the Broncos. Like, instead of going with the standard, having a receiving back that can also run, I want to see the Broncos kind of go a little more old school. have a guy that's in the backfield for 3 downs.
Just solid.
But then
workhorse.
we've got kids like Deshaun Hamilton and Phillip Lindsay that can easily play the slot as that check down pass for Case Keenum when it comes down
D'Angelo
to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't want to put Booker out of the mix at all. But I'm just saying, like, that's the style of play that could very well have a reemergence within the league rather than, hey, all we do is pass and we've got a kick-ass running back that can break your ankles.
I think Case Keenum needs that. 'Cause, I mean, he had Dalvin Cook and Jerick McKinnon last year. So it's like he had solid running backs.
Yeah.
So it's not like Case Keenum led the Vikings to the NFC Championship. He was great. But
I want
to
see him lead the Broncos to the AFC Championship.
That'd be nice. We'll see.
Alyssa?
This is tough.
I wonder who you're going to pick.
I thought I knew who I wanted, but I've changed my mind.
Okay.
I want to see what our 5th round pick does. Not 5th round pick. Our 5th overall pick. Bradley Chubb. I want to see him in action. 4th? 4th overall pick. That was a series of failures in a row.
What kind of Broncos fan are you?
I'm excited to see a horrible one. I'm excited to see Bradley Chubb in action. I'm curious, just with all of the hype, so much hype around him. But I'm also, it's like tied between him and Jake Butt. We've heard a lot about what Jake Butt's potential is, but we really haven't got to see it in action due to injury. I'm excited to see him out there and see what he can do.
I'm excited to see Butt in action.
Yeah.
You would like to see some butt in action.
Get that butt.
So much butt in action. And obviously I'm also excited to see Phillip Lindsay because I'm on the Phillip Lindsay hype train. Just me, driving the train.
You think he's going to get a kick return for a touchdown?
2. Just kidding.
2?
I don't know.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah,
Tomorrow?
we're going to go with 2 in one day. There's just so much. When it's the very first preseason game upon us, there is a lot to want to analyze and dig our teeth into and see.
We're gonna get more of a snapshot with Chubb. Definitely week 2 and 3 of preseason.
Yeah.
I don't think
we're gonna get like that sneak peek.
Mm-hmm.
But I do remember reading an article where he's not content just as a starter. Like he wants to be the guy. And it's hard to be the guy when you've got Miller across on the other side.
I like that attitude, though.
Okay, just to defend myself, he was the 5th overall pick, not the 4th.
Oh.
I just
Jordan.
Googled this. I was like, I swear I was right.
Jordan,
on
what
that.
kind of Broncos fan are you?
Husband-wife squabble. I'm like, hold the phones. 4th overall pick was a quarterback. Which
Was
one?
that the Jets?
No, that was 3rd. Sam Darnold.
Might have been Rosen.
Oh, no, the
No!
Browns took the quarterback.
Where?
Denzel Ward.
Denzel Ward.
Yeah.
Denzel Ward.
Right.
Yep.
The Browns still were the Browns.
I know.
Yeah.
They had Chubb in their pocket. I'm sorry, Alyssa.
It's okay. You convinced me, though, that it was 4th. I was like, wait a minute.
Minor note on the Browns. They did look pretty good last night.
I really hope
Mayfield
the
looked
Browns
good,
can pull something together
Yeah.
this year. I really do.
Going back to the Broncos, though.
For those fans.
Yeah.
Jordan, I know you have some notes on this. Who is injured and out tomorrow?
So Fumagalli, as I just found out from Miles.
Right, thank you, Miles.
Jeff Hireman, Sue Cravens, Menelik Watson. They're all listed as out, and a game time decision is
Joe Jones.
Tremaine Brock and
Joseph Jones.
So
Did
for
you
sure,
have,
Hireman, Cravens, and Watson will be out.
We must be looking at a different list because I've got a lot more people.
Who do you
Well,
have?
this was directly from Vance Joseph's interview today.
Gotcha.
They're listed as out.
Yesterday.
Or
Yeah,
yesterday.
so that's probably about right.
Crickets.
Yeah, basically the same.
Crickets.
Did you say Gotsis?
No.
Corey Brown?
No.
Oh, get him.
Philly.
Derek Wolfe?
What?
Out?
That was updated on the 31st. He suffered a stinger during practice.
Oh,
but
he's okay.
yeah, he'll be fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
If anything, they might hold him out of the first week first game.
Like, we know you're good.
We've got enough.
Yeah. That'll really piss him off. And there's
yeah.
nothing better than a real pissed off Derek Wolfe.
Just hold him out of all the preseason games.
Just make him so mad.
Just come out
frothing from the mouth.
List him as fourth string on the depth chart.
He just plays so great when he's angry.
And he's the nicest guy. We actually got to meet him.
He came and did an autograph signing at the bar we hang out at. And this is before he was a starter, so he was pretty new, but he did autographs. And then he hung out and like walked around the bar and greeted everyone there.
It was pretty cool.
It was, impressive.
It was so nice. Yeah.
It's like, you are a friendly dude. Wrapping up the Broncos. Do we care if they win or they lose tomorrow?
No.
That was immediate.
Yes.
All right.
I think it depends how they win or they lose.
Honestly, I think if they win tomorrow, that means we have some great prospects compared to the Vikings prospects. I don't think it has any levity on the regular season or how things are going to play out on who's going to make an impact. But I think it's going to be a great opportunity to see some of these rookies and younger guys that are trying to make this last final roster a chance to do something. Show the coaches that you got some stuff that you might not have been able to show in practice, but obviously we don't want the Broncos to get blown out, but I'm not going to be mad if we lose by 10 or 13.
Well, last season we won all 4 preseason games, and then
who knows? Lynch could throw 2 pick sixes. Regular season. You know,
and then Chad Kelly gets 3 quarters.
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, like, if Case Keenum throws 2 pick sixes, then I'll care.
Right.
Yes.
That really is.
Yeah. My biggest aspect of that is I don't care about the W or the L. I want the ones to perform in their maximum 2-drive setting up to the standard that we are accustomed to as Bronco fans.
Yeah.
Past that, win or loss doesn't matter. I want development. I want to see standout players, and biggest of all, no injuries.
No injuries.
Oh, yeah, please.
Yes.
I mean, we saw with the Redskins how it just
instantly
it sucks.
Yeah.
It's not good. We don't need no ACLs torn.
Yeah, guys.
Yeah. Hope you heal up quick, Darius, guys.
Yes.
He's out for
reevaluating my fantasy.
I know.
First round.
Strategy.
First overall 2019 fantasy pick.
Yes.
Come back with a force.
So tomorrow will be exciting. Get to see the Broncos play. We are currently watching the Rockies in the second game of this series against the Dodgers. They are presently up 5-4.
It's been a little up and down.
Top of the 8th inning. This 1-run lead gives me absolutely no sense of comfort or faith.
Our bullpen's up right now.
Yeah.
So
we're in the
we
8th.
got this.
So I'm,
that's what that means.
In other words, we're
having
up 1.
horrifying
It's
anxiety.
50-50.
Oh, Jake McGee. Uh-oh.
It's been rough, guys. We lost. We only were able to win 1 against our 3-game series against the Pirates. We are 3-8 of our last 11. This is a full-blown slump, but it almost doesn't feel right calling it a slump.
Oh no, it's a
It's
slump.
just been like
it is
piles of poor performance. It's just
level
been bad.
team, and 3-8 is definitely a slump.
Our bullpen is just, but a slump almost seems like too courteous of a term.
It's about.
I don't know.
This
seems like we've had a very roller coaster season. We had a decent start with one aspect, pitching and batting, and then one came up, the other went down. Then they both went up, and now they're both down.
We just got off like a 7-8 game win streak.
Yep.
So I mean,
the Rockies had the best record in July.
Of
all of baseball, and now we're shitting the bed in August.
As Denver fans, we have high expectations when our teams do well. Like,
we really do.
You've shown us
October yet?
some brightness. Like, we are ready to win a championship. Let's go.
This season, we've had 15 losses when the bullpen inherited the lead. So we had the lead, the bullpen came in, and then 15 games were lost.
And that's
I just
unacceptable.
wonder how many games were won, though. Like, they showed that stat of 15 losses.
They did not show how many games did the bullpen save.
Well, and just in this 11-game slump that we're in, the relievers have a 6.1 ERA. The starters have a 4.46, which isn't great, but it's still manageable, but a 6.1 ERA. And from the 7th inning on, we've been outscored 26-11. So the offense isn't really putting it together after the 7th inning, but the bullpen is shit in the bed right now.
Well, after you jack 2 homers, like, you getting a little tired, I'm sure.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
It's just...
What about our 1 through 5 innings?
Right. Let's just end the game after the 5th inning. Then we're good.
There was a rain delay on a game, and Jordan was like, I hope that they just cancel it because we're halfway through the 5th, so we'd win.
Because we were up 1-0 in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah,
and I'm like, if they canceled the game,
it's over.
That would have been a complete game.
Just
we
pray for
won.
hail.
Right.
I'm like, no.
Lightning and hail. We need this win. Was that divisional game?
Was that here in Colorado?
Yeah, of course.
We ended up winning that game. But when you have a rain delay, if you've played at least 4.5 innings, then that's a complete game if they cancel the game. So
and I think it went into the bottom of the 5th. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they completed the game, and the Rockies won.
Ultimately,
so it worked out.
yes.
Yeah.
We've got 2 more games against the Dodgers after tonight's Friday night game. And we've got to pull out some wins. We're 3.5 out of first right now. Last I checked, the Dodgers and Diamondbacks were tied for first. And we were 3.5 games back. So these divisional matchups are must-win games.
And we needed to
Is
start
that
yesterday.
dramatic or is that accurate?
No, that's I would agree with that.
Yeah, no,
like
it should have started yesterday.
to me,
Right.
yeah, to me, this 4-game series was a must-win sweep. Obviously, that's some really high
3,
expectations, but like getting 3 at this point might be the tip of the iceberg. Like, we might not even make that hump. Yeah. I'd be surprised if we take 2 against the Dodgers the way we've been playing. But these last 2 games, typically in a series, like, you'll let some of your better players maybe take the last game in the series off if you're traveling or something, you're coming back home. But on these 4-game series, it's like you got to have everyone playing at their best these 4 days in a row. And it's a tough sell, like, as far as maintaining your position within the division.
Yeah, and last night the Rockies had a 2-run lead, and then Sanguano, he gave up the tying home run, and then Wade Davis gave up the winning runs. And if they can take 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers, I would see that as a success.
Definitely
they gain a game, but 2 out of 2, not a success. If they get swept,
especially after dropping 2 against the Pirates,
right?
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't help me with the wild card race.
If we had swept the Pirates, this would be a different type of conversation.
Because the wild card would definitely be more attainable. Exactly. But now the Rockies are looking more and more like a wild card contention team, and no one likes a 1-game playoff. And also, like, it almost seems easier to win your division than try to make the wild card. Because within your division, you got, 5 teams? And when you hit the wild card standings, you got, 6 to 8 teams fighting for 2 spots.
Yeah. And with how many games they play, it's amazing how many teams at the end of the season are within, 2 or 3 games of each other.
But 14 back behind their leaders.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, the Dodgers, they made a lot of trades at the trade deadline. So, if I had to predict it, the Dodgers are going to win the division. And the Rockies have to fight for a playoff spot at this point.
You think we can climb up and beat the Diamondbacks?
Oh, yeah.
Division ranking?
Yeah. The Diamondbacks, they've had a lot of injuries this year, and they're an older team. I don't think they'll hold up as long as the Rockies
It's a long season, like you said.
But we're fighting all the other teams, like the Pirates, like the Nationals, like the Phillies.
Brewers?
The Brewers, yeah. They're ahead of us in the wild card standings.
We dropped 2 against them. This is the wild card race now.
Right. You're right.
And we failed over the last couple weeks.
Yeah. The Rockies have the hardest schedule in all of baseball for the rest of the season.
No excuse.
Right?
No excuse. Let's go into Houston, do some work, grab 2. I haven't even looked at the schedule yet. Do we know who's after the Astros?
I don't know.
I will.
Either way,
it'd be great if we
can grab 2 in Houston, that, they'll turn some heads. Maybe throw the Rockies on some national news. Maybe.
Yeah, we got.
I mean, the Rockies are up right now, going into the 9th.
If Verlander pitches against the Rockies and we shell him, throw up 6-7 runs.
Verlander's old. He's getting old.
But he's still an ace.
He is, but he's getting old.
Hey, this man's married to Kate Upton. You wake up every morning with a smile on your face, and you are pitching diamonds.
Just because of that, he's 5 years younger.
Yeah.
Probably 15.
No, just because of that, he's I don't care how I do today at the game. I'm married to Kate Upton. I've already won.
You guys are the real losers here.
So we've got 2 games against the Astros, and then a 3-game series against the Athletics, followed by a 4-game series against the Cardinals.
And the Cardinals kicked our ass.
Yeah.
And another 4-game series?
Yeah, another 4-game against the Cardinals.
Oh no,
away.
that was the.
Oh wait, no,
that was
I'm
the
looking
last
at the wrong
series
spot.
That we did with them.
Sorry. 2 against the Astros, 4 against the Braves away.
I thought we were 3 at the Astros. Dang.
4 against the Braves away.
Yeah, let's
just
take
a
both
quick
of them.
2-game
Let's
against
take
the
both of them
Astros.
Well, that's because it was a 2-game series in Colorado a couple weeks ago.
And we get a break playing the Padres. Yes.
And then it's the Cardinals here.
And the D-backs.
Can we sweep the Padres?
We
better.
Yeah.
If we don't, we're in trouble.
Those are divisional wins. We got to take those.
Yes. Oh, yeah. And the Padres
they're
awful.
there. They're right in our face. We just got to grab them.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a tough road. And they're still right there in the wild card race. I don't know how far back they are in the wild card. But they're, 3.5 games from out of the division?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we're paying our divisional leaders, so
it could be
that
2.5.
That builds a full game at each loss, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So if the Rockies beat the Dodgers,
we gain a game.
That's Scott Oberg pitching now. So we'll be 2.5.
Are we at the top of the 9th?
Bottom. No.
Top of 8th. Oh, still? Oh my goodness. All right.
No, we got rid of McGee. They took him out commercial break, and then Oberg.
Show us what you got.
We just gotta hope for the best with the Rockies. They have got to rally and get all facets of the game back on track at the same time. Thank you guys again for tuning in and listening. This has been 5280 Film Room. We will hit you guys up next week. Please follow us on Instagram and Facebook. You can also shoot us an email at 5280filmroom@gmail.com. Bye.
Laters.
Toodles.
Peace.